What's up, everybody? Patrick Duff, a New Jersey rabble-rouser himself. Just coming to you with a short clip here to tell you how money was moved in Camden, at least in the MLK house situation. And, as I believe the state AG and the feds are going to prove, and most of these other grant situations that went through Cooper's Ferry partnership. In 2016, John Lewis comes out to Camden. We hold hands. Everybody says, "We're going to save this house." John Lewis says, "This house must be saved for future generations yet unborn." Now, that being said, I think they had different plans for the money that was supposed to fix the house. We had a big meeting. Department of State was there, the mayor's office, Mayor Red's office, the freshly indicted Mayor Red. We're all in this room. Cooper's Ferry Partnership was there, who is mentioned in the indictment 100 plus times. The Congressman Norcross's office was there, Mary Cruz from Congressman Norcross's office, who, let's be honest, sponsored the EDA, was one that pushed the EDA through that got the $1.1 billion in tax credits that the Norcrosses took. It was 1.6, but 1.1 went to Norcross and to his friends, allegedly. And just what happened to me. And what happened was there was this meeting, everybody came together, we're going to save this place, let's pump it up. I mean, John Lewis was there. We created this great sense of pride in Camden. Everybody's going to help. Right after the meeting, though, what was interesting is I thought, well, there's no way this thing doesn't go through. Mrs. Hunt, who was the property owner, 82 years old at the time, she looked at me and she said, "Honey, ain't none of that going to happen. None of that, what they said, will happen." And you know who was right? She was right. Because the next year, what they did was they were supposed to go through me as the representative for Miss Hunt, but instead, days after this meeting, people from Cooper's Ferry Partnership just show up at Miss Hunt's house. Just show up out of the blue. "Hey, we're here to get you to sign these papers, to sign over the house." Mrs. Hunt calls me. I tell them to get the hell out of the house and send me an email. I'm the representative. I then, stand them up, and at that point, I became enemy number one to these people, it seems. They did everything they could to try to keep me out of the project. They were telling me I needed to get licensing from the state, from the MLK Center. They were saying that even though the promise prior was that they did not need the New Jersey state designation for historical designation on the registry, that now they needed it. So they actually created ex post facto conditions. And at the same time that they were creating these unwarranted and ex post facto conditions, they were applying for a grant, a community development block grant they never told me nor the property owner about, okay? So, and what they did was, at the same time, I started getting contacted by these crazy people. Now, do I know that these were directly related? No. But the only people besides Mishka Mitchell and Cooper's Ferry Partnership that ever told me I needed to get any type of licensing from the King Center to do research on Martin Luther King was these women, the Coney, Stephanie Coney, who calls herself Dr. Stephanie Coney, who runs a nonviolent, Stop the Violence network, who you can't find anything she's actually done except for have a luncheon or two. And her daughter, who is an attorney called Cecily Coney, who at the time was not an attorney when they contacted me, but she lied and said she was. And these two basically tried to run me out of the project, telling me I need to get licensing from the King Center, I'm disrespecting King's name, that I have no right to the history, the black history, because I'm white, that I'm a Christopher Columbus of black history, just attacking me, viciously attacking me in these emails. And I don't know if you know me, but I don't handle that very well, and I told them to go fuck themselves. And then literally Cooper's Ferry never communicated, never told me what was happening, and I found out through other sources that they got $229,000 to fix the MLK house that they had no intention of using, because they never closed on the home. They never got the contract to sale from Mrs. Hunt, which she was selling the home to them for $1. And they were only found out through a newspaper reporting, asking some questions and asking, "Hey, did you know about this grant money that came in?" And I said, "No, I didn't." So then I sued them, took them to court, tried to find out where the money went, and they kind of created the story that it went to the fire department, which I do not believe it went. I found out from another ROPA request that about $8 million that was given community development block grants to Camden, New Jersey, almost 6 million, 5.8 million of that was diverted to other sources than the grant was originally applied for. Meaning they used it to fill the gaps in their budget. They used it for all these other projects. They claim they used it to buy fire turnout gear for fire department for me, but they only claimed that after the judge forced them to tell them what they did with the money. Invoices were created that were after the court date. Things were signed that were from Frank Moran, not from Dana Red, claiming that Frank Moran, who had just been put in office in January of, I think it was 2018, that he somehow had nothing to do with this 2017 grant that went through that Dana Red was a part of as the mayor. And Dana Red is the CEO of Cooper's Ferry, the same place that stole the MLK House money. Follow the money, folks. Follow the money.